Betrayal doesn't break you. It reveals you. The day you realize the knife was never in your back, it was in your illusion, is the day you stop being weak. You trusted them. You defended them. You believed in something sacred. And they smiled while calculating your replacement. That's betrayal. Not the act, the awakening. You thought loyalty was mutual. You thought love was permanent. You thought blood meant protection. You were wrong. Betrayal is not an accident. It is a test of hierarchy, a quiet evaluation of value. The moment someone decides they can win without you. And when they do it, when they lie, cheat, replace, expose, abandon, you feel that burn in your chest, that collapse, that silence at 3 a.m. when your mind replays every conversation like a crime scene. You don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't recognize yourself. Good, because the old you deserved to die. The version of you who trusted blindly, who gave without boundaries, who mistook kindness for power. Betrayal is evolution disguised as cruelty. It forces you to confront a brutal truth. People act in their own interest, always. Love is conditional. Loyalty is transactional. Respect is earned daily. You thought your heart made you strong. It made you predictable. And predictable men are easy to manipulate. They study your weaknesses, your fears, your need for approval, your desire to belong. Then they use it. A fake friend flatters you while envying you. A partner kisses you while texting your replacement. A colleague smiles while preparing your downfall. And when it finally happens, you feel shock. Why? Because you built a fantasy version of them in your mind. You didn't see them clearly. You saw what you wanted. That's your mistake. Betrayal is not about them. It's about your blindness. You ignored the red flags. You excused the disrespect. You laughed at the subtle digs. You tolerated the small lies. You thought being understanding made you mature. It made you convenient. Weak men call it bad luck. Strong men call it information. Betrayal gives you data, cold, unfiltered data. It shows you who values you. It shows you who fears you. It shows you who envies you. And envy is always closer than love. Understand this. The world respects strength, not softness. You can be kind, but you must be dangerous. Even the greatest minds understood this. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Not because fear is noble, but because love without respect collapses under temptation. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while practicing Stoicism. He knew people would betray him, conspire against him, use him. Yet he remained calm, detached, unshaken. Why? Because he never expected loyalty from a world driven by self-interest. You expected too much. That's why it hurts. Betrayal only crushes those who build their identity on others. You made them your emotional center. You made their validation your oxygen. You built your happiness on their consistency. And when they withdrew, you suffocated. That's not love, that's dependency. Dependency is power handed to someone else. And people test power. If they see you won't walk away, they push further. If they see you forgive instantly, they repeat. If they see you fear loneliness, they threaten abandonment. You trained them how to treat you. Read that again. You trained them. Every time you tolerated disrespect to keep the peace, you taught them your boundaries are flexible.
Every time you stayed silent to avoid conflict, you showed them your standards are negotiable. Every time you forgave without consequence, you told them betrayal is survivable. So they escalated. Betrayal doesn't come out of nowhere. It grows in environments where standards are weak and consequences are absent. And now you sit there asking, why me? Wrong question. Ask instead, what did this reveal? Did it reveal you fear being alone? Did it reveal you crave validation? Did it reveal you ignore intuition for comfort? Pain is a mirror. You can smash it or you can study it. Most people choose distraction. They jump into another relationship, another friend group, another job, another identity. They repeat the same mistake with new faces because they never changed themselves. You want revenge? Good. But revenge is not emotional explosion. It is transformation. The highest form of revenge is indifference, silence, success, discipline.
When someone betrays you, they expect reaction, tears, anger, begging, drama. Give them nothing. No closure, no emotional performance, no desperate message at midnight. Disappear. Not physically, energetically. Withdraw your access, withdraw your vulnerability, withdraw your explanations. Silence terrifies those who expected control. Understand human psychology. People feel powerful when they can predict you, when they know how you'll react, when they know you'll chase. Break that pattern. Cold composure is unsettling. You don't shout, you don't argue, you don't explain. You observe. Because betrayal is also a power shift. The moment someone betrays you, they believe they gained leverage. They think they escaped consequences. They think you are weaker now. They're wrong, if you choose correctly. Pain can make you desperate, or it can make you disciplined. The disciplined man studies his own emotions like a scientist. He doesn't drown in them, he analyzes them. Why does this hurt? What belief was shattered? What illusion died? Every betrayal destroys a fantasy. Maybe the fantasy was, they'll always be there. Maybe it was, I'm not replaceable. Maybe it was, loyalty guarantees loyalty. Illusions are comfortable. Reality is powerful. When you accept that people will act in their own interest, you stop being shocked. You become strategic. You stop oversharing. You stop overinvesting. You stop overtrusting. You move in silence. You give respect, but you verify loyalty. You help, but you observe. You love, but you never lose yourself. That is power. Betrayal is the universe burning away your naivete. It's not pleasant. It's brutal.
But so is growth. Think about it. The most dangerous version of you is not the one who has never been hurt. It's the one who has been betrayed and survived without losing control. When you feel that ache in your chest, when you replay the lies, when you imagine confronting them, that is your ego screaming. Your ego says, how could they do this to me? But the real question is different. Why did I ignore the signs? Accountability is strength. Blame is weakness. Yes, they lied. Yes, they deceived. Yes, they acted selfishly. But you allowed access, and access is privilege. From now on, treat it as such. Not everyone deserves your full story. Not everyone deserves your loyalty. Not everyone deserves your trust. Make people earn proximity. Scarcity creates value. When you are always available, always forgiving, always accommodating, you become replaceable. When you are selective, composed, and self-contained, you become rare, and rare things are respected. Betrayal strips you down to your core. It asks one question: who are you when loyalty disappears? Are you still strong when applause stops? Are you still disciplined when support vanishes? Are you still confident when someone chooses someone else? If your identity depends on others, betrayal will destroy you. If your identity depends on your principles, betrayal will sharpen you. This is where most people fail. They seek closure. They want explanations. They want apologies. They want to understand why. You don't need their why. You need your standards. Closure is internal. It comes from decision. You decide they no longer have access. You decide the lesson is learned. You decide the pain will not repeat. That decision is power, and power is quiet.
Good. Because now we go deeper. The real damage of betrayal isn't what they did. It's what it awakens inside you. The paranoia, the distrust, the urge to close your heart forever. You start questioning everyone. Every compliment sounds fake. Every promise feels temporary. Every smile hides a calculation. That's the psychological aftermath. And this is where weak minds collapse. They swing to extremes. Either they become desperate to prove they're still lovable, or they become cold to the point of self-sabotage. Both are reactions, and reactions mean they still control you. Understand this: betrayal is not just a personal event. It is a psychological shift. It forces you to confront human nature without filters. You want the truth? Most people are loyal to convenience. As long as you benefit them, they stay. As long as you are useful, they invest. As long as you are strong, they admire. The moment you become inconvenient, watch how fast priorities change. That's not bitterness, that's awareness. Look at history. Even powerful rulers were betrayed by those closest to them. Julius Caesar was stabbed not by enemies on the battlefield, but by senators he trusted. Men he elevated, men he spared. Et tu, Brute? That wasn't just a line, it was a realization. The shock of discovering that proximity does not equal loyalty. Proximity means opportunity. The closer someone is to you, the more they know. Your fears, your weaknesses, your blind spots. And information is power. When betrayal hits, your mind searches for patterns. You replay conversations. You analyze tone shifts. You remember subtle changes in energy. This is not weakness. This is your brain trying to protect you from future damage. Pain rewires you. But you must guide that rewiring. If you allow bitterness to take over, you become isolated, suspicious of everyone, emotionally unavailable, hardened in the wrong way. That's not strength, that's trauma in disguise. True strength is controlled detachment. There's a difference between being cold and being composed. Cold men shut down. Composed men stay aware. Cold men punish everyone for one person's mistake. Composed men adjust their standards without losing their humanity. This is where Stoicism becomes lethal. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Simple sentence, brutal responsibility. You cannot control betrayal. You can control your response. Most people respond emotionally. They send long messages. They demand explanations. They expose secrets. They try to hurt back. And for a moment, it feels powerful. But it's impulsive power, temporary, loud, weak. Real power is strategic. Ask yourself something uncomfortable.
Did they betray you, or did they simply reveal who they always were? Often, the signs were there. The small lies, the inconsistent actions, the subtle disrespect masked as jokes, the jealousy disguised as advice. You saw it. You just didn't want to believe it. Why?
because you were attached to the version of them that made you feel secure. Attachment distorts judgment. When you fear losing someone, you lower standards. You tolerate more, you justify more, you excuse more. And the more you excuse, the more they escalate. Betrayal is rarely sudden, it's progressive. It starts with minor boundary violations, tiny tests. They cancel on you last minute. They flirt harmlessly. They share private information by accident. They compete instead of support. If there are no consequences, they go further. Humans push limits. It's instinct. When a child touches fire and gets burned, they learn. When an adult crosses a boundary and faces no reaction, they learn something too. They learn you won't leave. And when someone knows you won't leave, they lose respect. Respect is built on the possibility of loss. If there is no risk of losing you, your value drops. This is harsh, but power dynamics are always present. In friendships, in relationships, in business. If someone senses you need them more than they need you, the balance shifts. They gain leverage, and leverage invites betrayal. Not always immediately, but eventually. Because when temptation appears, someone more attractive, a better opportunity, a higher status option, they evaluate. Who benefits me more? That's the calculation. You thought loyalty was emotional. For many, it's strategic. This realization can make you angry. Good. Anger is energy, but trained anger fuels transformation. Instead of asking, how could they? Ask, how do I become irreplaceable? Not emotionally, value-wise. Build yourself so powerful, mentally, financially, physically, that losing you becomes costly. People protect what benefits them. That doesn't mean you manipulate. It means you increase your standards and your value simultaneously. Most people try to secure loyalty through affection, compliments, gifts, attention, sacrifice. Wrong strategy. Secure loyalty through strength. Strength commands respect. Respect reduces betrayal.
People rarely betray those they fear losing. They betray those they assume will stay. That's why detachment is powerful. When you show, calmly, silently, that you can walk away without chaos, something shifts. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability demands caution. But here's the deeper layer. Sometimes betrayal is necessary. Yes, necessary. Because comfort breeds stagnation. If they hadn't betrayed you, you would still be soft, still blind, still overgiving. Pain forces introspection. It forces you to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself. Maybe you seek validation too much. Maybe you ignore intuition. Maybe you attach quickly. Maybe you confuse attention with commitment. These patterns attract betrayal, not because you deserve it, but because predators sense vulnerability. And not all predators are obvious. Some look like lovers. Some look like best friends. Some look like mentors. They mirror you. They study you. They adapt to you until they get what they need. Then they shift. The shift is subtle at first. Less effort, less transparency, more secrecy, more excuses. You feel it. Your gut tightens, but you silence it because confronting it risks loss. So you delay, and delay empowers betrayal. Intuition is a survival tool. Ignore it enough times, and pain becomes your teacher. The strongest individuals don't lack emotion. They just trust patterns over promises. Watch what people do when they gain leverage. Watch what they do when you're vulnerable. Watch what they do when you succeed. Envy reveals itself during your rise. Disrespect reveals itself during your weakness. Betrayal reveals itself when opportunity appears. Study behavior,
not words. That's psychological dominance. And here's something most won't admit. Sometimes betrayal hurts so much because it exposes your ego. You believed you were special. You believed you were irreplaceable. You believed they wouldn't dare. When they do, your identity cracks. Not because you loved them, but because your self-image was tied to their choice. Detach your worth from anyone's decision. If someone leaves, cheats, lies, or replaces you, that reflects their character, not your value. But if you crumble completely, that reflects dependency. Strength is internal. And this is the battlefield now, inside your mind. Every memory becomes ammunition. Every regret becomes poison. Every what-if becomes torture. You must take control. Stop replaying scenarios where you say the perfect comeback. Stop imagining revenge conversations. Stop fantasizing about them realizing your value. That's still attachment. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. When their name no longer triggers emotion, you win. But indifference is earned through discipline. It doesn't happen overnight. You build it through self-focus. You redirect energy. Instead of stalking their social media, you train. Instead of overthinking, you build. Instead of complaining, you improve. Channel pain into progress. Because here's the ultimate psychological truth. The best revenge is becoming someone they no longer have access to. Not emotionally, not mentally, not physically. A version of you so upgraded that their betrayal looks small in comparison. But this transformation requires one thing most avoid: solitude. After betrayal, many rush to fill the void. They fear being alone with their thoughts. But solitude is where power forms. In silence, you meet yourself without distraction. And sometimes that's scarier than betrayal itself.
Affection can fade. Respect is calculated. If someone knows you will leave at the first sign of repeated disrespect, they think twice. If someone knows your time is limited, they value it. Scarcity increases worth. You become scarce, not unavailable, selective. And here's the transformation most never reach. You forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you refuse to carry poison. Forgiveness is not reconciliation, it is release. You release the anger. You release the fantasy of revenge. You release the need for them to understand your pain. They may never understand. They may never apologize. They may never feel guilt. That is irrelevant. Your peace does not depend on their awareness. It depends on your discipline. And discipline is built daily. You train your body. You sharpen your mind. You expand your finances. You elevate your circle. You upgrade relentlessly, not to prove them wrong, to prove yourself powerful. Because here's the ultimate reality. Betrayal creates one of two men: the insecure one who becomes bitter and reactive, or the evolved one who becomes precise and strategic. Choose carefully. The insecure man seeks validation from everyone else. The evolved man validates himself through action. He doesn't argue his value. He demonstrates it, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Look at the philosophy of warriors throughout history. Miyamoto Musashi lived by discipline and detachment. He understood that emotional control determines survival. Attachment clouds judgment. Clarity wins battles. And this is a battle, not against them, against your old self. The version of you who tolerated what should have been corrected. The version who feared loneliness more than disrespect. The version who begged for closure instead of creating it. That version is gone now, buried under experience. You don't need revenge. You need elevation. Because here is the secret nobody tells you. When you truly upgrade, betrayal becomes irrelevant.
Their choice becomes small. Their absence becomes light. You stop wondering if they think about you. You stop checking if they regret it.
You stop imagining their downfall because you're too focused building your rise. And here's the paradox. When you detach completely, that's often when they come back. Not because they changed, because your energy changed. They sense the distance. They feel the loss of access. And suddenly, they remember your value. Be careful. This is the final test. When someone who betrayed you tries to re-enter your life, they don't return with confession. They return with charm, apologies, nostalgia, excuses. They will blame circumstances, stress, misunderstandings. But patterns matter more than promises. Ask one question. Has their behavior changed or just their strategy? Growth is proven over time, not through words in a moment of loneliness. If you allow them back without evidence of change, you repeat the cycle. And repetition is self-betrayal. Sometimes the strongest move is permanent distance, not out of anger, out of alignment. You no longer match. Your standards rose, their character didn't. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to travel the full journey with you. Some people are lessons, painful ones, but necessary. Without betrayal, you would still be blind. Without heartbreak, you would still be soft. Without disappointment, you would still be dependent. Now you are different, sharper, calmer, harder to manipulate. You speak less, you observe more. You trust patterns, you value yourself. And when someone shows you who they are, you believe them the first time. No arguments, no second chances without transformation, no emotional chaos, just decisions. Decisions build power, and power is quiet. Remember this final truth. Betrayal did not ruin you. It revealed your strength threshold. It showed you where you were weak. It forced you to build muscle in areas you ignored. Emotional control, boundary enforcement, self-sufficiency, discernment. Now imagine the version of you 5 years from now. Disciplined, focused, financially stable, physically strong, emotionally unshakable. Do you think that version of you would beg someone to stay? No. They would thank them for the lesson and keep moving. That is who you are becoming. Not a victim of betrayal, a product of it. Let others gossip. Let them justify their actions. Let them rewrite history to protect their ego. You don't defend yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Your life becomes your response. Your success becomes your statement. Your silence becomes your closure. And one day, you will look back at the moment that shattered you and realize it was the moment you were reborn. Betrayal was not your downfall. It was your initiation. Into awareness, into discipline, into power. Remember this. The person who betrayed you lost someone loyal. You lost someone capable of betrayal. One of those losses is heavier. Walk forward without bitterness, without desperation, without fear. Cold, calm, unapologetically evolved. Because the strongest revenge is not destruction, it is transcendence. And once you transcend, they no longer matter.